Hello everybody, welcome to Drive Thru. I'm your host, Tony T, as we broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel and throughout social media. We'll get you out here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. And that's what we do here on the Drive Thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Is deliver live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us here for today. All right, with us is, Al Ninos will be signing in a little later. We got Brian Bitler, David Racey, Zawacky, Jovan Burts, and Brad Francis. And here's how they'll line up for this evening. We've got Bitler, Francis, Burts, Ninos, Racey, Zawacky, and then I will close this one out. All right. Conference Championship Week continues here with the major conferences, but today we have some smaller schools, but some WCC in action tonight. We got some picks for you from there, NBA as well on the board tonight. So let's go ahead and let's get this one underway. Go ahead and welcome in Brian Bitler. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs Premium, doing great work up there. We'll bring in Brian right now. I think we're ready to roll here with Brian to start off the week here on the Drive Thru. Brian, what's happening?
I'll tell you what, I love Monday nights. It's the start of a drive-through week, and I love to start it off a good weekend. Perfect this Saturday and a good Sunday, so let's keep that momentum rolling forward into the new week.
Indeed. All right, here we go tonight. We go to the NBA. It's the Cavaliers home here. We've seen the line move here up. Cavaliers hosting Boston here. Cavaliers laying 7, total 218.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to go with the Cleveland Cavaliers minus this big number here at home in a game that is really a must-win for Cleveland. And at home, it has been a bettor's paradise. 22-11 ATS at home, second best home cover team in the NBA, with only the Nuggets being ahead of them. Boston comes in on a back-to-back spot off a very hard double overtime loss at home to the New York Knicks. I think we're going to see a ton of key guys out for this one. And yes, it is reflected already in the line, but you should see a lot of attention from bettors here, being able to get the Celtics a 45-20 team on this plus number tonight. Cavaliers 10-1-1 ATS last 12 home games versus a team with a winning percentage of 600 or greater. Cavaliers also 7-1 following an ATS win. I think they put another one together here. I'm going to take the Cavaliers on this big number, lay the points against Boston.
All right, Brian says, say Cavaliers lay the 7 here against the Celtics. Of course, you saw last night the Celtics were in a double overtime game against the Knicks, so back-to-back. Although the Knicks have, when you look at Boston, they have had a pretty good record in back-to-back games, but tonight's a little different story. No Williams, no Tatum, and no Horford in the lineup here for Boston.
Yeah, those key guys being out, it wouldn't shock me if somebody would sit out. Another guy would sit out last minute. You know, this is the NBA and anything could happen. Sometimes I'm a little bit leery because Boston is has a very deep roster, but this Cleveland Cavaliers team has been a very good moneymaker at home, and if they're going to make any ground in Eastern Conference, they really need to get the W tonight. So I could see a 10-point win for the Cavaliers.
Also, to note on Mitchell, he's been questionable throughout the afternoon with that finger issue. He did go through the morning shoot around tonight, so that is positive news. Still on the questionable side there, Brian, with Mitchell.
And that's always worrisome. I think we had a play on Friday for me that had some late breaking injury, and that really affected that game. What was that game? Darn it. I think it was the New York Knicks game, actually, wasn't it? But in any case, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers get it done, and hopefully Mitchell plays this one. And according to the line, I think he's definitely going to play tonight. Yeah,
that's the positive news, that he did take place in the shoot-around. It's a finger. It's not a knee or any lower leg injury, which you always worry about. So Brian here on Cavs laid the 7 against the Celtics. This one to have a start time here, 7 Eastern Time. All right, Brian, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. So good profit here over the last 7 days. Of course, tonight we got NBA, some hockey, as well as college hoops on the board, as we got a lot of conference tournaments in action here. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Tell you 5-0 on Saturday, 2-1 yesterday on Sunday, so 7-1 last 8 premiums. I just got one play tonight. It's my titanium best bet, 32-22 over last 54. That's a 59% hit rate. And then long term, last 203, I've gone 119 and 85, 59% winner. So make sure you head on over to pickdogs.com. Get my NBA titanium play. Definitely the best bet on the board, just $15 guaranteed at pickdogs.com.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Brian Bitler over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results there. Don't forget, we have a 2-for-1 capper promotion right now. You add a second capper to any of the long-term passes, and you will save 15% off. You can access Brian's page by clicking the link you see in the description. Click the All Cappers tab and go ahead and get signed up. All right, Brian, as always, great having you show. Continue that success, and we'll catch up with you again on Friday.
Love being here in the drive-thru to open up the show on Monday. I'll be back on Friday to close things out. You guys have a good week.
You got it as well. Brian Bitler here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on with the show here. We're going to welcome in Brad Francis. Catch him over at Pick Dogs. Hope you're catching his video series with the Mills, the UFC show they had over the weekend here. So, guys, make sure you check it out. Brad and Mills will catch up with him to find out about how we're looking for this week. And I think we'll get Brad in right now. We've got NBA late night action from Brad tonight here on the show. So we'll go ahead and dial him in right now. Brad, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Tony? How we doing today?
Doing awesome. All right, here we go tonight. Late night Kings here home to the Pelicans. And it is the Sacramento Kings 5.5-point favorites now, total 237.5.
Yeah, I'm liking the Kings here at home to cover this spread. I mean, it's been a tough year for the Pelicans. Against the spread and straight up. They come into this one 13-20-1 ATS as an underdog and 11-22 straight up on the road this season. So just looking at those numbers, trends aren't good for them in this type of spot, especially as an underdog on the road. And on the other side, the Kings, they're 34-28-1 ATS on the season and 19-13 straight up at home. Valanciunas, he is questionable for this one, and if he's not playing, I see this Pelican struggling with Sabonis all game. It should be a tough one. I saw that De'Aaron Fox is questionable as well, so we are dealing with an injury report for tonight's game. But I even without De'Aaron Fox, I mean, if Valanciunas isn't playing for the Pelicans, I would still give the edge to the Kings. But overall, the Kings, they have been just the better team all season. And this number of only laying 6 isn't too bad, taking a home team that is playing a poor road team. So I like the Kings to win and cover here.
All right, we got Brad here on the Kings, minus 5.5 here against the Pelicans. Yeah, De'Aaron Fox is a key component here for this Sacramento Kings team. 25 points a night, 6.5 assists, 4.5 rebounds. It is now a game-time decision here for Fox with that hamstring. And here is some positive news here. He did participate in the shoot-around, still questionable. But they're going to kind of be cautious here with that hamstring.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Kings, they do have other scorers and guys who could contribute, but I mean, De'Aaron Fox is their centerpiece there. So it's definitely keep an eye on things there, especially for a late game. So, I would hold off maybe 30 minutes before the game, check the injury report, and then fire off on this one.
There you go. We got Brad here on the Kings, like the 5.5 here against the Pelicans. This one will have a start time here of 10 Eastern time. All right, Brad, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, lots on the board tonight from the NBA. Lots of college hoops action. Lots of conference tournaments underway right now as we speak. NHL as well on the board. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, got 3 plays on there, all in basketball tonight. Got my favorite NBA play. And then I got, one NBA play, 2 college basketball. And then if you want my best college basketball play, I have that on the site for $15 right now.
That's right, guys. Get over with Brad Francis over at Pick Dogs Premium. The promo code is PICK at checkout. We'll save 15% off. The 2-for-1 cap promotion. Look for Brad on one of those long-term passes. Use the 2-for-1 cap promotion, and you'll save a lot of money there. Of course, remember that PICK is the promo code to save 15% off. All right, Brad, as always, great having you on the show. We are looking at a UFC card for this week.
Yep, we got another one for this week. So, expect Thursday. Could be Saturday, but most likely it'll be Thursday after the drive-thru. We'll have a better idea later in the week.
All right, later week you'll find out, guys. But whatever you do, make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications so when Brad and Mills are live on the show, you're live with them. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru as we'll talk to you again, Brad, later in the week.
Thank you, Tony. Have a good one.
You got it. Brad Francis here on the drive-thru. We've seen a lot of people sign in. If you miss a pick, recap here at the end of the show. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Up next is Jovan Burts. Let's bring Jovan in. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. He's hoping to get his computer back here and get that parlay video of the day going back again. Jovan, what's happening?
Yeah, what's going on, Tony? How are you?
Doing great. All right, here we go tonight. ESPN2. It's WCC semis. Gonzaga here facing San Francisco and Vegas here. Gonzaga, a 14-point favorite, total 162.
Yeah, and I'm on the under in this one. Now these, truth be told, these are 2 of the high-scoring teams in the West Coast Conference, and they're quite capable of scoring. As indicated in their first game, where Gonzaga dropped 99 in San Francisco, the Dons, they contributed with 81 points, going way over the total. But I think in this one, given the ramifications of this game, that we have an under game, and I think it's gonna be a situation where Gonzaga's gonna really get whatever they want, and on the defensive side, they're gonna come with a that championship level defensive focus. That's how I think it's gonna play out. I think the Dons they're gonna have a tough time scoring, especially in the beginning of the game. As the flow of the game goes on, they might pick up the scoring. But I think by then, I think Gonzaga should have the game, tucked away, for the W. And I think, it's just going to be one of those things where, the Dons are going to be chasing points and they're not going to be able to, get much traction. And at some point, they're just going to give up, midway in the second half. And it's going to be a game where they don't even get to 70 points. They could get to 60, 65 points, but I don't think they'll get anywhere near the 81 that they got in that last game. As for Gonzaga, I think that they set the pace, it's extremely well in this game, and I think that they put it on cruise control in the second half, and don't put up as many points in the second half as the first half. And I pegged them for a good 85 points.
All right, we got Jovan here, San Francisco and Gonzaga under total of 162. Kind of an interesting format where the top two seeds get a bye to the semifinals. And it's kind of a staggering contest here with these teams that San Francisco played last night. So they are in a back-to-back. Interesting to note that this is the last game, which actually because of seeding, right? That's really how it factored out. So the winner of that St. Mary's game will have a little bit of extra rest. So from the Gonzaga point of view, about maybe 2.5 hours, 3 hours more rest for St. Mary's. If, let's just say, St. Mary's wins, they could lose. I mean, they're playing BYU. They're a good defensive team. But the fact is, you just want to get out of this game because you're going to be on short rest coming the following against. If you're looking at St. Mary's the following night, you're going to be on short rest.
Right, and there's no such thing as style points in college basketball, or really in basketball for that matter. It's not like football where you got to put up, a certain amount of points and just run roughshod over a team. And, it's not one of those cases. So, college basketball, it's a whole different animal. And, with the way both of these teams can score a whole lot of points. Don't get me wrong, but given the scenario, given the circumstances of this game, and given the fact that these two teams, head to head, they don't go over all the time. So it's I'm not saying it's rare, but they like last 10, I believe it's 6-4 to the under. And that's just off the top of my head. So yeah, give me the under in this one.
Yeah, the top seed usually gets that earlier start, and that's usually how it works. St. Mary's gets that earlier start, so they'll have a bit of an advantage should they win with that extra rest as they put this one very late night here. And again, if you're that Gonzaga, if you're looking St. Mary's the next night, then maybe you kind of pull it back a little bit in that second half. If you build up a big enough lead, maybe that's the focus here. Get that big lead early and let's cruise it home.
Yeah, I mean that's what I think is going to happen. Mark Few, sometimes he doesn't necessarily pull his players, until like the last, if the game's in hand until like the last 2 minutes, which kind of frustrates me sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Case in point, the Chicago State game, he had those guys playing damn near to the last second. You know what I mean? So no telling if he's gonna have his frontline players in for the whole game if they're up by 20 or whatever. But I think if interest best served him, he should if the game is in hand.
Yeah, these coaches are just nervous wreck. Remember the one and done scenario that you have in this NCAA tournament just put a lot of nerves in play. It's not like the NBA playoffs or these other professional playoffs where you have a lot of, actually it's college, it's just one and done, except baseball. They do have a little bit of round robin, but here it's one and done situation. So these guys are nervous wrecks. San Francisco Gonzaga under total of 162. This is a late game relegated to ESPN2. The top seed, St. Mary's, in the opener in Vegas. All right, Jovan, let's go over our pick document for tonight's action. Of course, we do have lots of college hoops in action. Smaller conference in today. Tomorrow's another big day, but tonight, small conferences in action. I think 14 games, 12 remaining. We got 2 starting already right now. NBA as well on the board. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, it's Monday, so you know what that means. Time to make money with my Money Bag Monday 3-pack. 3 plays that I think are gonna hit. It's conference tournament action right now, and I'm locked and loaded for this one right now. And my daughter could attest to that. But yeah,
I'm hearing some words already. Wow, that's I'm getting
right.
older.
Yeah, exactly. Time goes by
Oh
fast.
my God.
But yeah, those 3 plays. I also have another play up on the board. So 4 college basketball plays. One of them are gonna be for long-term subscribers, and yeah, ready to just do it again. Over the weekend, I basically got juice, went even both Saturday and Sunday. Just ready to get it on the straight winning side. Let's go 4-0 tonight. I got the games locked in. You can also check me out my 3-day, my 7-day, my 30-day, my yearly. It's all here. Sports Chat Place and Pick Dogs. Match me up with one of the other two other handicaps for the 2-for-1 cap promotional. Can't go wrong with that. There's a lot of us that's hot. A lot of us that's clicking on all cylinders. It's gonna keep on going. It's March Madness. It's our time. So when isn't it our time? Someone is always on fire on this site. So with that said, check us out. It's all here. Sports Chat Place and Pick Dogs. Let's get it.
That's right, guys. Got a board with Jovan Burts over at Pick Dogs. Great results. Nearly 3,000 units of product for the year. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout will save you 15% off once you pick up one of his long-term passes. Get the entire tournament with that 30-day all sports pass. You're covered for the entire tournament as well as the minor tournaments action as well. All right, Jovan, as always, great having you on the show. To you that great success. We'll catch up with you later in the week.
Absolutely. Have a great night. Win. And see you on Friday.
See you on Friday. Jovan Burts here on the Drive Thru. Guys, you miss a pick. We're going to recap at the end of the show. Al Ninos will help us out if we can get him out of the poker room. Let's continue on here on the Drive Thru. Let's see if he's out of the poker room. That's our man, Al Ninos. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring him in right now. You can catch him on the weekends here with the morning show. Bring him in if he's ready. Al Ninos made it. Oh, he's not in the poker room. Early exit.
No poker tonight. No poker
tonight. All right. Monday's a tough night there. I guess the poker room. All right, here we go tonight, 7 Eastern time. They all pay the same. Pistons here to host the Trailblazers. Portland up to a 5.5-point favorite, total 230.
No, they actually got some pretty good promos on Monday too. But taking a couple nights off, spend them with the kids. They might be gone a bit. But back to this NBA. Looking at this game here, probably not the most exciting game on the board, but I think we got a little angle on this game. The Blazers will be playing their second game in 2 nights. They have been dealing with some injuries. So it could be a tough spot for them to hang all game long, or at least cover the full game spread here, which it seems about right, considering the teams and the situation. But again, I think that just backing them in the first quarter here and not risking them running out of gas is the better play against a team that's also dealing with some injuries. The Pistons, as bad as they are, will be without some of their better players. And again, the Blazers, not the best first quarter team, just winning 48.4% of their first quarters, but that's a lot better than the Pistons have done, losing 75% of their first quarters. So they don't start their games well, and I think again, good spot to back the Blazers early.
All right, Al Ninos says go early here, and that's first quarter, the first 12 minutes, minus 1.5 points here against the Pistons. Give you some of the injury updates here on the Portland side. They'll be without Simons. Nurkic is the key players. Baji comes off the bench. RC Okono, another bench guy. On the Pistons, this is the team with a lot of injuries here. Bogdanovich is the key guy here. He's the scorer there. People wanted this guy, but they couldn't get enough for him out of Detroit, so he stayed there. Derwin Hayes, Magruder Stewart, Wiseman came on over, but he's questionable size here. So again, we're getting to the point of the season, Al Ninos, where these games will mean more, and it means a lot more here for this Trailblazer team.
Yeah, I mean the Pistons really, not much to play for anymore at this point of the season. But yeah, the Blazers do need every win they can get, and so at least they come out more motivated. It's never easy playing a back-to-back. These guys. It's a tough game every night for these guys, and especially when you're already missing players, it just makes it that much tougher for everyone that's available. So I still would probably lean towards the Blazers, anything under 6 points, but I just don't want to risk it full game. I like the first quarter.
You're just looking for just get the lead and just win wire to wire. You're 30 and 30.
Yeah.
The Trailblazers 30 and 34, very much in that playoff hunt to get in the playoffs. That 7 to, remember, as we said, from seed 4 to seed 10 is going to be a dogfight. That's the way the West is right now. And of course, Al Ninos here. Of course, again, this is where you're going to take the living against the dead. Just take the living. Trailblazers still have life to them. Go against the dead. That's an old school saying. Back in the, they used to talk about that in NFL back in week, those late weeks where you had a playoff team competing for a playoff against a dead team. You can also apply it here to the NBA. Take the living over the dead. But in the first quarter, Trailblazers first quarter -1.5 here against the Pistons. This one to have a start time here of 7 Eastern time. All right, Al Ninos. Let's take a look over at Pick Dogs PM for tonight's action. Tonight we've got NBA on the board. 6-game card, I believe it was. We also have action here from college basketball. 12 games remaining. Lots on the ice as well. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I got a 3-pack in the NBA, a 3-pack with my best bet in the NBA, NHL, and college basketball. Then you can get those individually as well. My best play in each sport, or grab a long-term pass. You'll get a couple extra plays there as well. So always a better way to go, and either that or the 2-for-1 capper specials.
That's right, guys. Got on board with Al Ninos over at Pick Dogs Premium. The long-term passes. Remember, use the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. That 30-day pass will cover the entire NCAAB tournament, as well as all the minor tournaments and conference championship tournament games as well. All right, Al Ninos, as always, good having the show. Keep up their great work, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow.
All right, have a good one, Tom. Actually, see you in a minute.
See you in a little bit. He'll be with me in the recap. All right, Al Ninos here on the drive-thru. Guys, reminder, if you miss a pick, we will recap it here at the end of the show. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. I do see, hope you guys are joining us here in the chat room. I see Mills in here. He likes Kings Keegan Murray over 11.5 points. Player prop to get you on top. Couldn't make the show today. That's from Mills with his player prop to get you on top. And check it out there in the chat. Rod Zawacky, always in there in the chat. Welcome everyone's contributions. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Up next, David Racey. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. A written contributor. Also contributes with his daily shorts video. Hope you're catching that up every day here on the channel. So we'll bring in David Racey in right now. I think we're ready to roll here with David. Here we go, David. David, what's happening?
Not much. Just this is one of my favorite weeks of the year. We're going to come into the days where we have college basketball from noon until like 1 or 2 a.m. over here on the East Coast. So it's a beautiful thing. Oh, yes, it certainly is. Yeah, college basketball, wire to wire tomorrow. Really get started with some of the teams, and from here all the way into Sunday. And then we hit the tournament, and the minor tournament's a really exciting time indeed. And tonight we go to the NBA, 9 Eastern time. Nuggets here home to the Raptors. Nuggets have come down. They were 7.5 overnight. They've come down to 6, total 229. Yeah, I like Denver here. Denver, as we all know, one of the best teams in the league. They've won 7 of 8. But they're dominant at home. They're 29-4 at home this year. And they've won 7 home games in a row. All 7 of those wins have been by at least 9 points. They have a top 5 scoring offense, and they're shooting over 50% from the field. So Denver playing very well. Toronto, they've alternated wins and losses over their last 5 games. They're only 12-20 on the road, and they're 1-2 in their last 3 road games. And if you look back last week, they visited Cleveland, which is another very good team, and they lost by 25 points. So I think Denver gets it done for us here. When you're looking at some trends, Toronto is 2-6 against the number in their last 8 road games. Denver is 20-7 against the spread in their last 27 home games, and Denver is also 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games played on 2 days of rest. So kind of a big number, but I like Denver here.
All right, hard to argue that one. David Racey here on the Nuggets, laying the 6 here against the Raptors. Yeah, Raptors beat up on a lot of bad teams on the road. Now you get a team of quality, and you're looking at Nuggets team past 7 home games, a net rating of plus 15.6. They're just scoring out of their minds. Denver's on their game. Toronto's going to have a hard time trying to keep up scoring-wise.
Yeah. You look at, and like even Denver's last home game or last game, they played Memphis. They didn't play very well in the first half of that game, but absolutely blitzed them in the second half. They only scored 113 points that game, but you look at the few games prior to that, 133, 134. So yeah, Denver, they're a machine on the offensive end. It's always a risk with them because they do like to sit players kind of without telling anyone. But as of right now, it looks like everyone's playing. I think Gordon or Porter
Porter now is probably likely to play dark green. The Laker guy Bryant is probable, but Najee Gillespie has been got all season. Concara is another one, but they're so deep. Their starting five should be intact here for Denver, even though Toronto has a clean report.
Yeah, as long as that starting five is good, you're in good shape. And really, it's just Jokic. He's a beast. It's funny, he's one of the best players in the league, and it's almost like not that he doesn't get respect, but it just kind of feels like people sleep on him, even though he continues to be MVP caliber.
Yeah, I don't have the numbers here. I know a few years ago the Nuggets were dominant against Eastern Conference teams at ATS. I don't have the local numbers right now, but I remember that a couple of years ago looking at that, where it's just tough on these Eastern Conference teams, not used to this elevation hitting Denver.
Yeah, that's another thing. And to be honest, I didn't really look at that, but now that you bring it up, it's a great point. Teams are not used to that, especially out of the East, which makes me like Denver even more.
Nuggets here laying 6 against the Raptors. This one have a start time here, 9 Eastern time. All right, David, let's go over at Pick Dodge Prim. Great results in the NHL, 902 units of profit. Last 30 days over at Pick Dodge Prim, showing great profit over the last 7 days as well. We got hockey, 6-game card here on the ice, 6 on the NBA. Lots of 12 remaining games still left to go in college hoops. What do you have going on over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Yeah, I have a NHL 3-pack, like you said, up over 900 units over the last 30 days. Up over 400 units in the last 7 days. So been doing really well in hockey. Got a 3-pack there. Have a college hoops 3-pack. Like I said, favorite time of the year. All these conference championship or conference tournaments going on this week, then going into March Madness next week. It's a great time. This would be a great time to jump on a 30-day pass. You get all that and more. And then I also have an NBA premium play. So plenty of options over here at Pick Dogs. And but like I said, I've been hot on the ice, so I hope to keep that up tonight.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Dave Racey over at Pick Dog Premium. Look how hot he's on the ice. Pick up that 1 month pass. You're covered for the entire NCAA tournament, and all of David's premium plays for that 30 days. Minor tournaments involved as well. You can save 15% off right now when you use that promo code PICK at checkout. Access David's page by clicking the link you see in the description, then the All Cappers app, and you'll find him there. Get signed up. All right, David, as always, great having you on the show. Have yourself a great evening here. Let me see if we always have some issues here with this screen. I should fix this already. But anyway, we'll bring it. I'll get the double screen right to roll. But anyway, everybody know you've got a lot of content going on over at Pick Dogs, right? You've got your the articles that you write for the site.
Yeah, yep. I'm one of the writers over at Pick Dogs, so we're doing daily free pick articles on every college basketball game this week on the conference tournament side. So we're doing plenty of those, myself and all the other writers. I also do, like you mentioned, videos on YouTube for the shorts, and then on my own Twitter account as well. I give out a daily free pick. So plenty of free picks wherever you look, just as pretty much everyone else does. But like we talked about, it's a great time to jump on board for a long-term pass. There's plenty of value there and a lot of money to be made.
That's right, guys. Get on board with David Racey. Remember that promo code PICK at checkout. We'll save you 15% off. All right, David, have yourself a great week. We'll catch up with you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you, Tony.
You got it. David Racey here on the drive. So let's continue, guys. If you miss a pick, we're going to recap at the end of the show. Al Ninos will help us out. Let's continue on here on the drive through. Zawacky's up next. Catch him over at Pick Dogs. Remember, you can catch him in the mornings every day here at 10 a.m. Eastern Time with that morning show. Complete breakdown of all the games in pros and select, as well as a rundown of the games from the pros and college basketball. So make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. Eastern Time every day. Zawacky, how's it going?
Going good. A little cold here again. Mother Nature decided we should have a little more winter snow, so we got some snow and some cold, but not as much snow as California's got.
Yeah, I'm in Southern California, not Northern California, but Northern California is getting hammered. Our mountains up here are getting hammered. People don't realize they don't they don't have any stuff to help them if they're snowed in for a few days. They just that's the problem. They're not prepared.
I seen a snowplow pulling the semi truck trying to get the groceries up there so people can have some food, like the basics, like bread, milk, eggs. It's like it's nuts. I even seen a guy put some cross country skis on his chickens. I was like, holy man. It's like
they're not the mountain communities.
Not for you guys in Northern California. Holy man!
The Southern California. It's you've seen me. I'm a hiker. We have peaks up to 10,000 feet in elevation. So there's a lot of mountain communities out here with elevation, living in elevation of 6,000 to 8,000 feet. right? That's where they're living. So this is why you get so much snow. Some of those folks in the mountain communities are getting hammered here and helicoptering down some food and supplies for them. So
yeah, hopefully they're all good up there.
Yeah, well, they say all well. Indeed. All right. Speaking of cold, we go to the Sun Belt. Sun Belt tournament action here. And I think they're playing this in Florida. Louisiana here to face South Alabama. You see the line's competitive here. Louisiana a point and a half, total 139.
Yeah, you look at this game. This is definitely going to be a battle. This is the Sun Belt final in the conference tournament here, and definitely Southern Alabama, definitely the Cinderella story, making quite a run. And this run's been going since about the end of January. They won 11 out of the last 13 games and been rolling along thanks to guys like Isaiah Moore, Kevin Samuel, and Owen White hitting those threes to seal some games there late for the South Alabama team. Been playing great hoops, but you got to run in against the Cajuns, who have won both regular season meetings against South Alabama. I know it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a season, but this Cajuns team, they're just too big. They dominate in the paint, and with Jordan Brown in the middle there, scooping up them rebounds. He's just a monster, dominating the glass. And you look at the last meeting they had, they out-rebounded him 39-25, and that's the reason. Jordan Brown scoops up that ball in the paint and just dunks it in. So the second-gen points, tough for South Alabama to be able to keep up here with ULL. For me, also, how much is left in the tank for this South Alabama team? This is their 4th game in 5 nights, and they don't have a deep bench. They've got 6 guys that they roll with, and not a deep bench after that. So you might get some tired legs in this one as well. And for me, you look in the last meeting, ULL only shot 2 of 16 from beyond the arc, and if they hit a couple more of those, they won that game by 10 points. And I think they're just too strong, too big, too strong, dominate in the paint, and out-rebound South Alabama again and get the Sun Belt Conference win and punch their ticket to the big dance, going with ULL in this one.
All right, so we got Rod here going Louisiana here, laying the actually on the money line. So this just to win, Louisiana to win, minus 125 here against South Alabama. Of course, South Alabama had to play that extra game because you know how the seeds work. You know, some of these teams have to play these extra games in these big conferences, right?
It's definitely going to be a battle because these guys are young, and definitely you figure that maybe the tired leg won't come into effect, but with the way South Alabama and their short bench, they really run 6 guys, and it's those guys have played a lot of minutes of hoops over the last 5 games, and definitely going to run on some adrenaline here tonight, that's for sure. But I think the Cajuns are just too strong in this one. They're too big. They're going to out-rebound them and do the same thing that we've seen all season in the first 2 regular season meetings. I love the Cajuns here in this one.
Yeah,
it's nice to see South Alabama. We love the Cinderella story, right? That rolls it along. I think it ends here.
All right, you don't have to worry about any back doors like you did last night with Texas State. They were pounding Texas State, and they got in through the back door. Texas State covering that 7-point closing line. But anyway, Louisiana here, money line minus 125 against South Alabama. This one to have a start time here, 7 Eastern time. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick Document for tonight's action. We got 6, right? 6 NBA, 6 NHL, 12 on the board. 24 games to bet on here for the major sports tonight, Rod. We got 2 games we said in action, so from 14 to 12. Great results here over the last 30 days. 2,130 units of profit. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I've been rolling in college hoops. I got a nice 76 and 47 combined between college hoops and NBA. Nice run going over the last 30 days. So I've got 2 college basketball plays and 1 play in the NBA. Get my money Monday at triple. And let's continue pounding the bookies and posterizing them and taking their money. So scoop that package up. Or I've got my NHL sniper play, $15. You can scoop that up over at Pick Dogs Premium. And as we say, now's that time. Grab a 3-day, grab a 7-day, grab a 30-day pass. Look at Jovan. We've both been up over 2,000 units in the last month. So pair me up with Jovan on the 2-4 and Capper. 2 heads are always better than 1. And let's make some money this March Madness and continue rolling. I'm excited. I can't wait. Can't wait. I love this time of year. Love it. Right. Love the hoops. And then follow that up with some NBA playoffs and then the NHL playoffs kick in. How can you not love sports this time of year? Love it.
That's right. Of course, and then before you know it, we got baseball, and then CFL comes back.
Oh, CFL's already they're starting warm-ups. Camps are starting to go pretty soon. So I'm excited about this CFL season too. Love the CFL this year. Going to be good.
That's right, guys. We can keep it covered year round here on the drive-through and over at Pick Dogs year round capping. We just didn't jump into college basketball once the Super Bowl finished, so we're ready to roll here with college basketball. Of course, you check out the drive-through. Lots of college basketball coverage here since November. So get on board with Rod. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout will save you 15% off. If you want to cover the tournament, get the third day all sports pass, and you're covered for the entire tournament from Rod Zawacky and all those other premium plays there on the site. All right, Rod, as always, great having you.
Even better, grab my hoops package that I got going right now, where you get all the rest of the college basketball plus the rest of the NBA season as well. That's a great deal. Can't miss that. $420. Use that promo code PICK at checkout, and then you get everything I got going hoops related right through the final cutting of the net and the NBA championship. Great deal there for you guys.
There you go. Like another 3 months of NBA, right? Around June 6th, we'll probably be in Game 3 or Game 4 of the finals. Who will those teams be? Will it be the Bucks and Suns? We'll see. We'll see how that rolls. All right, Rod. Say, what happened to that third? Remember when you had last year? You had that third one, right? Two plus one. You had the NHL in there.
I did the 2+1, right? I think I threw the NHL in there as a little bonus. I'm a little bit cold in the NHL. I ain't gonna lie.
All right.
These last couple of months, I've been a little bit. What happens is I've been chasing a puck line and the money line wins, because I don't want to lay minus 200 with the money line, and I'm gonna get burnt on a couple of those. So, but we're down just a little few units in hockey, so it's not so bad. They'll time to turn that around. I'm gonna end up plus money by the end of the season.
That's right. Playoffs before you know it. We're getting into the season here where you got living in against the dead. And you know how you can clean up this time of the year. All right, Rod, have yourself a great evening, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Definitely. You have yourself a good one, Tony. Good luck to everybody with all your bets. And, hey, smash that like button. Costs you nothing. Helps us out a ton. Also, subscribe. That way you get notified when me and Chris release those Puck Dogs videos. We've been on fire on those. We've hit the last two Puck Dogs parlays. Check out tonight's for tomorrow's action. Nice third one. I love that one. Tune in. Scoop it up. Have a good night, Tony.
Good night, Rod. Get some winners and check out Rod in the Puck Dogs video series with Chris as well. All right, Rod, have a great night. Rod Zawacky here on the Drive Thru. Guys, if you miss a pick, recap here at the end of the show, so make sure you stay tuned for that. We got some breaking news here. James Clark will return to the Drive Thru. We're expecting probably late this week or early next week. So James Clark will return to the Drive Thru, coming back here later in the week. Let's continue on here on the Drive Thru. It is now time for my selection. Let's get to it here. We're going to college basketball. Horizon League, Milwaukee and Cleveland State over on ESPN2. We got Cleveland State the favorite. We're going to go with Milwaukee here. We're going to take the 2.5 in this one. Cleveland State's been one of my favorite teams over in this Horizon League, but I'm seeing better play here from Milwaukee over the course of the final few games of the season here. We know the Vikings have been a really strong rebounding team, a good shooting team, but I'm going to give you the team that's really playing defense, and that is this Milwaukee team. The Panthers are top in effective field goal defense in the conference. They allow just 32% from three, 49% around the bucket. They swept the Vikings in both meetings. They defended Cleveland State well in their win over a week ago by 9 points. Plus, they crushed them on the glass in both of their meetings. So I like that, especially here. I value possessions here in conference tournament action, and you got Milwaukee rebounding and defending. We'll take them here, plus the 2.5 here against Cleveland State. This one will have a start time here of 9:30 Eastern time on ESPN2. Yep, Cleveland State has been consistent. They have been a consistent team, but I'm going to get off their wagon for this game here because, again, I don't have to win, right? I got the 2.5 in this game. And sometimes these games, especially in the Horizon, when we get deep in the semifinals here in the finals, we've seen a lot of tight one-possession games in this conference, especially. That's right. They have it at a higher level, and indeed. All right, guys, check out Pick Dogs Premium. I got actually a 4 premium plays up there. I got a best bet on the board as well as a 3-pack. My best bet is from the NBA, and I have a 3-pack right now from College Hoops right now on the board, so get on board with it. Of course, remember, you can get on board with my long-term pass. Remember, you want to get coverage for the entire NCAA tournament, just get that 30-day all sports pass. You get all of my premium plays from college basketball for the next 30 days. Covers the entire NCAA tournament as well as the minor tournaments and all the conference tournament action. And, of course, the NBA as well and the first week of Major League Baseball. Use that promo code PICK at checkout and you'll save 15% off. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Before we get to the recap, let's try and recap, get you guys caught up with all the injury news here in the NBA as we have games tipping off here in top of the hour. Actually, we have three games top of the hour, so we have a lot of action here. Let's go look at this Boston and Cleveland game. Out for Celtics, Gallinari, Horford, Tatum, and Williams. Donovan Mitchell has been upgraded. Donovan Mitchell has been upgraded to likely to play here. Let me see the news. He is in dark green. Looks like he will be playing this one tonight. Available to play. So that's the update there here with Donovan Mitchell there for Cleveland in that game against Boston. Portland and Detroit. Okay, we got a lot of injuries on both sides. Arcia Del Cono, Baji, Nurkic, Simons, Winslow out for Portland. On the Detroit side, Bogdanovich, Duran, Hayes, Magruder, and Stewart out there. 76ers and the Pacers. We can now confirm that Harris and Tucker out. 2 rotational players out for Philadelphia. Nesmith also out for Indiana, so a rotational player there. Starting, I should say these are 3 starters out. So 2 starters on Philly, 1 on Indiana out tonight. Atlanta and Miami. Atlanta, a clean injury report. On Miami, we can now confirm Lowry and Love out for the Heat. Lowry, Love out for Miami in this one. Toronto and Denver. We can Toronto, a clean injury report. This one 9 Eastern time start. On the Denver side, nothing's changed. Gillespie and Najee out. Kankar questionable. Bryant probable. Porter likely to play. Most likely to play now in dark green. So it looks like he's going to go. Pelicans and the Kings. This is the late night game. Nothing's changed here. Valanciunas is still questionable. Out for the Pelicans are Alvarado, Liddell, Nance, Richardson, and Williamson. On the Kings side, this is one to keep an eye on. We know Holmes is questionable. Holmes was a big contributor last year, not much this year. But here's the big news. Fox. Keep your eye on Fox. He's still questionable. Let me see if I get an update yet. At last check, he did compete here in the shoot-around. So we participated in the shoot-around, and he remains questionable to play. And it looks like the Kings are going to be very cautious here because it's a hamstring injury. So this is one you got to keep an eye on. I wouldn't lay a wager on this one until you see the warm-ups, quite frankly, because Fox, again, is a huge contributor to the Sacramento Kings team. So check it out there. And we got that. And I have to agree there with Brent Cook on the injury reports as well. All right, guys. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here on the drive-thru. Let's get to the recap. Al Ninos helps us out. We started here with Brian. Brian liked the Cavaliers laying the 7 against the Celtics. Brad was on the Kings, laying the 5.5 against the Pelicans. Jovan, San Francisco Gonzaga under 162. Al Ninos likes the Trailblazers. First quarter laid the 1.5 against the Pistons. David said Nuggets lay 6 against Raptors. Rod, Louisiana money line laid the minus 125 against South Alabama. I'll be on Milwaukee plus 2.5 against Cleveland State. All right, Al Ninos, other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
I'll go with San Francisco Gonzaga, stay under the 162.
So you like that one to stay under total here of 62. Remember, that is a late game. We talked about the angle in that one. They are the late game. And probably the winner of that St. Mary's BYU game will have about 3 hours extra rest in that one. And the one I like the most here is I have to go with David there on the Nuggets, lay the 6 on the Raptors. Let me just see if there's any major line shifts here. We have seen this line in the Celtics Cavaliers game move up to 7.5. There is an 8 in some places, so we're seeing movement there on that Celtics and Cavaliers game. Pistons and Detroit, and Trailblazers, the Portland Trailblazers down to 4.5 in a lot of places right now. Philly still 6 on the Pacers. The Heat have come down to 2 and 2.5 here against the Hawks. Still 6s across the board. Toronto and Denver and the Pelicans and Kings. We're seeing 6s in some places, 5.5s in others. So that's your line update as well as your injury report update here on the drive-thru. Again, some of the folks out there, like some folks like the Cavs. Ramon likes the Cavs. Of course, C. James, shout out to you. Hope you're feeling better. C. James, I know you've been a little under weather there. And of course, that's to Brent Cook. To everybody in the chat room, Jay Breezy. Nicholas Handy, a shout out to you as well. And of course, James Thrower in there as well. Appreciate everybody's contribution. That's right. Of course, if you didn't get the news earlier, James Clark will return to the drive-thru. Expect him here either late this week or early next week. Looks like Monday, Fridays will be a slot moving forward here on the drive-thru. That's going to do it for our show, guys. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew for tonight. We're going to wave goodbye to you guys. And have yourself a great evening.